Was Nero truly mad, or was he simply ruthless in the face of an empire already collapsing from within? Traditional accounts depict a deranged emperor playing music while Rome burned, but closer examination reveals a colder logic. Nero ruled over a people who no longer trusted their government, no longer respected its institutions, and no longer believed they were governed for their own good. The machinery of Rome, its records, its taxes, its courts, had become in the people's eyes not instruments of stability but chains of oppression. Faced with a society seething with resentment, Nero may have set the fire not merely out of madness, but to destroy the administrative memory that bound the people in bitterness, hoping to renew loyalty by breaking the state's invisible hold. Today we see echoes of this impulse in the Department of Government Efficiency, created under President Trump and led for a time by Elon Musk. Framed as an effort to cut waste and restore freedom, DOGE aggressively dismantles the administrative systems of federal governance, slashing regulatory agencies, firing thousands of career civil servants, and hollowing out the record-keeping and institutional memory that allow a vast and complex society to function. As in Nero's Rome, distrust of government has been weaponized. What were once seen as public goods, social services, courts, protections, are now framed as parasitic instruments of control. The perilous path signifies the treacherous journey societies undertake when trust in governance erodes. From ancient Rome to modern America, the consequences of this erosion have been profound, often leading to instability and upheaval. When citizens lose faith, the very fabric of society begins to unravel. This deep alienation is not new. Just as Augustus built Rome's empire on an intricate web of census rolls, tax ledgers, and legal structures that brought stability, the American administrative state expanded after the New Deal in World War II to deliver services, rights, and protections on an unprecedented scale. Yet, over time, bureaucracy grew distant, impersonal, and ripe for resentment. Just as Rome's citizens came to view their government not as a guarantor of order but as an exploiter, today many Americans see government agencies as bloated relics, hostile to individual freedom. DOGE channels this distrust not toward reform and restoration but toward demolition, a dangerous gamble history has seen before. Tiberius turned Rome's agencies into tools of surveillance and fear. Caligula mocked the very idea of public welfare. Claudius buried governance under a flood of meaningless decrees. In each case, the machinery of governance grew more dysfunctional, deepening public alienation. Similarly, under the guise of efficiency, DOGE has disrupted essential government services, from social security operations to regulatory protections, reducing effective administration while fostering deeper mistrust. The strategy is not to repair or renew public trust, but to burn away the structures themselves in the belief that loyalty and order will spontaneously return. It is a faith not in governance, but in destruction. By Nero's time, the people's hatred of administration had curdled into nihilism. Bureaucratic agencies were despised, records were seen as shackles, and the very idea of structured civic life was in retreat. Likewise today, calls to destroy the deep state and cheers for the mass firings orchestrated through DOGE rest on a fantasy that eliminating government's administrative memory will somehow restore a purer, freer society. Yet history shows otherwise. When memory is destroyed, it is not freedom that fills the vacuum, it is chaos. In Nero's Rome, the initial destruction was met with celebration. Freed from the visible apparatus of government, the people rejoiced briefly. But with no taxes collected, soldiers deserted. Without registries, property claims dissolved into violent disputes. Without courts, lawlessness spread. Hunger and desperation followed. So too today, if the administrative networks that sustain public health, civil rights, law enforcement, and economic stability are gutted by DOGE's scorched earth policies, the resulting collapse will not be liberation but slow, grinding chaos. Those who today call for the dismantling of federal structures should ask, what happens when the bureaucratic chains they destroy are the very systems that uphold peace, order, and daily life?
As we stand on the precipice of change, it is crucial to consider not just what we wish to tear down, but what we intend to build in its place. The future depends on these decisions.
As chaos consumed Rome, Nero and the desperate populace sought scapegoats. They blamed Christians, foreigners, and the vulnerable, rather than confronting their own complicity in the collapse. Today, a similar pattern emerges. Those who cheer the destruction of governance increasingly turn their anger toward immigrants, minorities, and disloyal civil servants, rather than facing the deeper decay of public trust that hollowed institutions long before DOGE'd torches were lit. Nero gambled that by destroying Rome's administrative memory he could reforge loyalty, but trust, once lost, cannot be commanded by fire. Likewise, today's political arsonists, those dismantling governance through DOGE'd radical assaults, may find that when the administrative state lies in ruins, no amount of populist cheerleading will rebuild the trust they have burned away. Without memory, Rome became hollow. Without trust, it became ungovernable. Today, we stand at a similar precipice. If we destroy our administrative structures without understanding their purpose to hold society together across generations, we risk celebrating freedom in the ashes of a world we can no longer inhabit.